the Managing Director and Chief Executive for the FMDQ. Welcome to the show, and it's really, really fantastic to meet you. We were on a panel yesterday.
Yes, Brigid.
Very, very interesting from my perspective, because I missed going to Nigeria last year because of the Ebola outbreak. And it always saddens me that things like this happen that make traveling in Africa a little bit more difficult. But one of the interesting things is that we've got a very, very large continent. So there's opportunity. What have you found with regards to building that infrastructure, specifically in an economy where you have so much appetite for your product? So talk to us about the partnership and the collaboration with Thomson Reuters, what you've seen in terms of the Forex platforms that you've implemented, and how that's created opportunity within the environment that you operate.
Thank you, Brigid. What we did back home in Nigeria is not so unique, but when we were putting this together, it was led by a vision of the Financial Markets Dealers Association, which is the body of treasurers. The body of treasurers wanted, on the back of the reforms of the GFC, the global financial crisis, to create an OTC market which will be credible and would have high integrity. To achieve this, we had to get the central bank, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and all the banks to put together this infrastructure.
And talk to me about transparency, because at the market at the moment, and I mean, a lot of people have got this perception, especially in Africa, it's very illiquid and it's very opaque. So in Nigeria, if you put these mechanisms in place, was one of the incentives to do that around transparency?
You're indeed very correct. As I said earlier, immediately this infrastructure was put in place. The first thing we did was to sit with Thomson Reuters for the foreign exchange side to roll out the sort of systems that will support the new market and also automate all the rules in the market, which were there, but the rules are difficult to monitor when they're manual and they're not in the systems.
Yes.
The first thing we also did, after engaging Thomson Reuters to start work on this sort of systems that will support the market we're looking for, was market transparency. That was paramount, and it was the priority for us on the list to ensure that everywhere in the world people can see all the stakeholders, what's going on in the market, and not just the dealing community now, but also the corporate treasurers. We didn't want a situation corporate treasurers were in their offices and the only way they could get prizes would be to ring up, the dealing members.
Yes.
So we had to launch the e-discovery, which was a web-based, and this allows even dealing members, anyone on the road, the CEOs, the governors of central bank, the directors of central bank, the corporate treasurers, wherever they are, whether they're in the country or they've traveled out, is web-enabled. They can see what's going on in the market. And this is the first leg, the first version of the e-discovery that's been launched.
And that's exactly it. I mean, we talked about it yesterday as well, was talking about creating alpha, but you need data in order to do that.
Yes.
And I think that one of the, for me, one of the encouraging things about what you've done in Nigeria is the fact that you've embraced this technology to understand that it has measurables. So when there's more contributors to this technology, yes, it creates transparency. It also creates that reputation of having an integrous market where people are not scared there's no opaqueness. My word is my bond. What you see on the screen, you can trade. But also it gives you that history. So if somebody wants to measure the way that the markets are operating, the impact of the market, the contributors to the market, those that are making prices, the spreads in the market, those are measurable items now because they've been data driven. So going forward, talk to us about the foreign exchange market in Nigeria. Where's your appetite coming from predominantly, and where to from here?
The foreign exchange market at the moment is one that we are managing. Of course, there's no gainsaying in what has happened to the crude oil and also the impact on the foreign exchange earnings of government and also the capacity of the market.
That's a global issue, right?
It's a global issue. The interesting part of it for us is we've got elections coming, and typically in Africa when these elections come, the state moves towards the brink, but we believe Nigeria is going to come stronger from it. We've lost some percentage points on the currency, but the central bank is actively working with the banks to ensure we have a country, we have an economy, and the sentiments are very good. We're looking forward to the elections. Immediately we are done with the elections, we expect that there'll be flows coming back to the country because the yield levels are very good. The exchange rate has been adjusted close to 20-something%, and you really do not have 100% correlation between the crude oil and the currency. It's about 44% correlation, and that's taking place already.
So do you think the market's already priced in this move, and this is the opportunity to get back in?
I think it's a great opportunity to come back in. The currency will always fluctuate, but in terms of the adjustment, I think the necessary adjustment has been done by the central bank, and everybody's moved on. The central bank has also consolidated the market, which is significant, a significant move. A lot of people felt it couldn't be done. It's been done. The central bank has shown sincerity as to where it's taking the market, the financial markets in the country. The chief executives of the banks are also supporting this move, and we expect flows will start coming. The yields are good, as I said. The currency has been adjusted. Currency will always fluctuate. We expect that, and we will see that. And I think there's great promise for the country.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Coco. It's really been a pleasure to meet with you. And I think just in the closing, what it really encourages me about what you're talking about is the collaborative efforts between central bank, regulator, and the market, because that speaks to efficiency, that speaks to transparency, and it speaks to integrity, which then brings those foreign investors and other resources into the local economy. So thank you very, very much. I really appreciate you being with me today.